All right, everybody, welcome back to NFA Review Channel. Today we have a brand new suppressor from AB Suppressors. Now, some of you guys have already heard the new Warthog at Suppress Fest 2022 back in November. So it actually sounded really good, had a very pleasing tone. The line at the AB Suppressor booth was very long for both days. So some of you guys, if you're watching this, you already have actual firsthand experience utilizing this suppressor. But today we're going to cover it in detail. Now you see two suppressors here. We have the Warthog 556 and the Warthog 762. So we're going to kind of cover both here briefly in the studio, and then we're going to hit the range and shoot both. So obviously we'll just be shooting the 556 on, say, like a 16-inch AR, and then we'll run the 762 through the gauntlet, 308, and 300 blackout, stuff like that. So we'll probably even shoot 556 through it by swapping the mounts, which we'll get to here shortly. So let's see, before we get started, I still have some event shirts left from Suppress Fest. So if you are interested in picking some up, I think we have size small, large, extra large, and 2XL. We're out of mediums and we're out of 3XLs. We have a pretty good supply of all of those. So if you're interested, just email me at nfareviewchannel@gmail.com. Just put, event shirt in the subject line. I'll find it, and then I'll explain how you can pick them up. We're going to be giving away some of the neck lanyards that the vendors had at the event as supplies last. There's plenty of supplies for everybody that buys a shirt or hat. Other news, SHOT Show's coming up. We will be going to SHOT Show, so if there's any new products in the NFA world that you kind of see come across your desk already that you want me to go get a first-hand look at SHOT Show and kind of put my hands on it and show you guys in a booth interview, please comment below and I'll be sure to add it to the schedule. But pretty sure that covers that. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you the specifications on both of these suppressors, and then we're going to hit the range as usual, and you're going to see exactly what they sound like. Let's get to it. All right, let's get started here. Starting with the 556 variant, comes in at an overall length of 5.5 inches and a weight of 10.6 ounces. And then the 762 variant comes in an overall length of 6.3 inches with a total weight of 11.7 ounces. Now, both suppressors, of course, are going to share the same diameter of 1.625 inches. Both are going to be constructed of 17.4 heat-treated stainless steel throughout, and of course, both are going to wear that same nicely applied matte black high-temperature Cerakote finish. And of course, both, as you guessed it, will have the hub interface in the rear, industry standard 1.375 by 24 rear interface, which I'm glad they went to. Of course, the 762 is going to ship with a direct thread 5/8 by 24 direct thread mount, and then the 556 will ship with the 1/2 by 28 thread pitch. Speaking of the mounts, they are both machined from grade 5 titanium, just to save some weight there on the back of the suppressor. Again, they went with 17.4 heat-treated stainless steel for the use and abuse area of the suppressor. This one, of course, not going to be subjected to the pressures and heat as much as the body of the suppressor, so why not save some weight there if you can? Probably our most notable change from the suppressor, from the lineup that you guys are used to seeing here on the channel, would be the end cap. So as you can see, the older design had just like a flat end cap, nothing special there. This one, they domed out a little bit for a little bit more volume, and of course they machined in these really substantial, thick flash hider prongs at the end. So those shouldn't have a problem as far as wear. Even with if we had a lot of jetting, I don't think anything's going to wear those things down. They're pretty beefy. But yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of put this to the test on the range with some really hot 556 ammo and see what it does for the jetting out the front. Let's see. As far as price, believe it's not on their website yet, at least while I'm filming. But the 556 I want to say is going to be around $550, and the 762 around $600. throw in a group buy on my Patreon page. AB's really good about doing that to kind of hook them up for supporting me on the channel. Typically what they do is they discount it and then they throw in some shirts and swag and patches and decals and shot glasses that are laser engraved and really cool stuff. So stay tuned for that. If you are a Patreon member, I'm sure they're going to come up with something. Let's see, what else? Oh, now you can't see it on the outside of the tube, but on the inside, this blast chamber here is ribbed for your ear pleasure. So it's ribbed on the inside and the outside. So I asked them why they did it, and it was a pretty basic, hey, this is going to make it a little stronger here in the blast chamber area for, you know, heavy rapid fire use by adding that reinforcement in there, and it will cause some turbulence there, which will of course slow down the gases a little bit more, resulting in a quieter report once they reach the end of the muzzle and exit the front of the suppressor. So I'll show you a close-up there of that blast chamber area. I did some push-pull focus shots already. Hopefully you can kind of see it. It's kind of hard to see, but hopefully blown up on the screen you'll be able to see all that machining there on the inside of that wall. So neat little feature there. And of course the front cap, as far as the exterior of the tube, it is going to be the AB suppressor that you guys are used to seeing. So I think that pretty much covers it. I'm going to bring both to the range. We're going to shoot, you know, probably a 16-inch barrel on the 5.56, and then we'll also move that mount over to the 7.62. We might shoot a shorter upper. I'm not sure yet. Depends on what I have in the safe that's cleaned and operable. But we'll shoot 5.56, 308, and 300 blackout through the 7.62 one. So a lot of shooting to do today, so that's why I'm trying to breeze through the studio here so you guys don't fall asleep on me before we get to the fun part. So if you have quality headphones and you want to watch it and you want to hear what this is going to sound like as far as close as it gets to tone, not sound level, but tone, throw those suckers on and let's hit the range and see what they sound like. Gassy. Round went supersonic. So did that one. There we go. Some of these are right on the threshold. Damn. So when the round stays subsonic, this thing is ridiculous. Very low tone. Very low tone. supersonic as well. Wow. Planes. Good. After this last one, I'm gonna walk back to 100 yards and send this round whizzing right past that microphone. Hopefully it stays subsonic. It's my last round. Fire in the hole. Still. Damn. Sounds great. Still. Man down. All right, where to begin? Let's begin on the 308. Wow, really good performance on the 308. It performed like a much larger suppressor. What I mean by that is typically, you know, for a bolt gun setup, you would go for a large diameter, long length, high performing suppressor. So when you hold this thing and you realize just how dainty it is and you put it on this loud son of a biatch, you start to kind of cringe before you pull the trigger because you're like, man, I do this professionally, shooting suppressors with no ear protection on. What am I doing to my health? And it sounded fine. It sounded more than fine. It sounded great. Great tone, very pleasing, reduced recoil. I loved it. While I'm on that, off camera, when I shot this one last today, I don't know how I'm gonna do the edit yet, but I shot this one last today and the suppressor was still on. I'm like, well, let me go ahead and check point of impact shift. Make sure that for a bolt gun, it's not only quiet, but it's accurate. So I backed up to 100 yards and shot this group that I'm showing you here on the screen here. I shot a 5-round group suppressed with crappy 147 grain non-match ammo, just 147 grain ball 308. Then I removed the suppressor and shot another 5-round group. And that's what it looks like. It moved maybe just a hair at the 6 o'clock position. I don't know if it was me, I don't know if it was point of impact shift, but as you can see there, the two groups are touching and overlapping, 2 5-round groups. So point of impact shift, accuracy, good, sound, tone, great on 308. Moving down to 300 blackout, we had some rounds go supersonic as we've been having, and there's a lot of ammo that I have from 2A Warehouse. If you've been watching my other reviews, you can hear when some of the rounds are loaded just a little too hot and they're breaking that sound barrier and that sonic crack you can pick up on their microphone. When that doesn't happen, you can hear just how spooky quiet it is, especially when that round thumps that dirt. You can hear all those dirt granules fall on this frostbit grass out here. Pretty slick. Now we have they're towing a glider from a plane. Jesus. All right. So then we actually started today with the 5.56. Now we started, I believe, with the Warthog 5.56. Sounded good on the 16-inch barrel. A little gassy. More gassy than I expected. And then we tried the 7.62 Warthog. The gas was alleviated a little bit, and the tone changed a little bit. It got a little louder, as to be expected. the tone sounded great on the Warthog 5.56 with the 16-inch barrel. Then we went down to 10.5 inch with the rifle speed adjustable gas block system on an M16 lower. I did not change the gas setting with the 5.56. I left it on 7 on the gas block system, setting 7, shot it unsuppressed and suppressed in the same setting. Then I put the Warthog 7.62 on there, and I adjusted it down. I turned the gas down when I shot it suppressed, and it actually damn well, eliminated, I would say like 90-95% of all the gas pressure issues I was getting in my right eye shooting on the AR-15 platform. So what does that tell you? It's a pretty corked up suppressor, and you really need to think about your whole system when shooting suppressed as far as adjustable gas blocks. And Rifle Speeds has a pretty damn good system out there. If you haven't seen the review, I'll put it somewhere up here. You guys can click on it and check it out after this video. But Rifle Speed makes some pretty kick-ass kit, and they were at Suppress Fest this year, and their booth was pretty popular because their product works as advertised. So yeah, a little gassy on the 5.56. Tone sounded great. Not much else to discuss there. Now, when I was shooting all my camera angles, I was trying to use my wheel well and the paint film, the satin film on my truck as a backer, because the woods here was all washed out from the sun coming in the morning. So I was trying to keep it dark so we could see any jetting from the front. Now, I reviewed probably 50% of the scenes that I just shot today, and I did not see a single flame shoot out the front of any of these two suppressors on any of these hosts. So the end cap flash hider works. So biggest con would be gas pressure on an AR-15 platform. So if you're going to keep to like maybe 300 blackout, 5.56, stuff like that, 6.5 Creedmoor, or 5.56 with an adjustable gas block system, then yeah, pretty sweet little suppressor, especially for the size and the price. We didn't really discuss that much in the studio, but I mean, we're talking a $600 rifle can here. That's very affordable. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Huge shout out to Two-Way Warehouse for all the ammunition today. Otherwise, we would go broke shooting. We did a lot of shooting on and off camera. I actually did some belt fed shooting today too. Stick around for a YouTube short to be released shortly on that one. Just having some fun with the Fight Light upper. So hope you guys enjoyed the review. I won't ramble on too much longer. We have a lot more videos in queue, and then I have, of course, SHOT Show coming up. I'll be doing a lot of booth interview videos on all the new products that are coming out, and of course I'll be announcing Suppress Fest 2023 probably right around the start of the new year. And if you have any suppressors or brands that you want me to track down for you while at SHOT Show, please leave a comment below and I will get to it. Click that like and subscribe button if this is your first time by the channel, or if you want to piss off liberals, or both. Doesn't matter to me as long as it happens. See you next time.